Hi there, this is Catherine. Thanks you for listening to my SEO Tips micro podcast. So, before we get into today's SEO tip, I just wanted to share with you the ways you can support the podcast if you're enjoying all the tips and finding them useful. So, you can send me a donation at buymeacoffee.com/Catherine W. Ong, O-N-G, and that's Catherine with a K. Any and all levels of donation are appreciated. It will help me offset the cost of producing the podcast. So, that's buymeacoffee.com/KATHERINEWONG. I'd also encourage you to subscribe to our email list to make sure you're not missing any future episodes or any other news about the SEO Tips podcast. And to do that, you'd go to wostrategies.com/newsletter. Okay, on with today's tip. Let's talk about how to request that search bots index your content. Hello, thanks for listening to SEO Tips today. So after months of the request indexing tool being unavailable in Google Search Console, this feature returned right before the end of 2020. And many SEOs were pretty excited about its return, but that was about it. We didn't hear a lot more from other SEOs. And you didn't hear anything about how the feature has been changed or any limitations it might not have. But when I gave it a try recently, I noticed that you can submit about 10 to 12 URLs a day before it starts throwing an error. Now, of course, if you're submitting with Google Search Console, hopefully you've already done the obvious stuff about making sure that Googlebot and Bingbot can actually find your content. They both lean very heavily on content discovery versus clean XML sitemaps, especially if you submit those XML sitemaps via your search accounts. Bing also really loves RSS feeds. But for Bing, most people hopefully know that you can submit about 10,000 URLs a day manually by their URL submission feature, or you can submit your URLs through a Bing Webmaster API. And if you happen to be using Botify, it has a feature that will submit to Bing for you. But in general, you probably should think about, why has Google or Bing not found your content? And why haven't they indexed it in the first place? With the increasing popularity of JavaScript frameworks, there could be something going on that's limiting the search engines in discovering and indexing your content. Oftentimes, JavaScript is something that delays search engine bots from finding your content. If your navigation's powered by JavaScript, oftentimes Googlebot can't click and crawl some of that stuff. Neither can Bing. So that could be possibly one of the reasons. And then, of course, your content, frankly, has to be worth indexing in the first place. So it could be no technical issue, but your content's so thin, it's not competitive enough for the rest. So it could be other reasons why they haven't indexed it. Now, for Bing, years and years ago, I noticed that if we tweeted out a URL that wasn't indexed yet, it was picked up faster. And Bing actually says it uses social signals as links, though I haven't tested that tactic recently, so I'm not sure if that still works today. But anyway, that's your tip for today. That would be how to manually submit your URLs via Google and Bing, hopefully after you've figured out whether there's some other reason holding you back from getting indexed by either search engine. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for another SEO tip.